Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave, and look at this trio of cards I have for you. Oh, it's so perfect for our kickoff to fall this week. I can't believe fall is here already. I really am in denial because it feels like it should still be summer, mainly because I don't want summer to end. But I am excited about fall. So I love making fall cards with leaves. I think they are almost as good as flower stamps. And if you watched me, you know that I'm a big fan of flowers. But these leaf cards are really simple, and I wanted to kind of show you how I came up with them. I'm going to start with this first one, and this is going to feature the stamp set Beautiful Autumn, which I have right here. And this set comes with a trio of punches, and punches are kind of my favorite because they're so quick and easy to use. And the trio of punches for this set is just amazing. I love these 3 punches. So I'm going to use the maple leaf on this card, and I also am going to use one other punch, and that is our Pick-a-Banners punch. This is a really fun punch because you can make 6 different banners. Well, actually probably more than that when you get down to it, but it's got 2 different banner ends that you can punch, and then you can do it with 3 different sizes. I've actually taken a Sharpie and written the sizes of the paper strips on the back of my punch just for easy reference. And so I'm going to start with my printed paper pieces. So I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and I'm going to set that aside for just a moment. And then I've got these 2 pieces of printed paper. This is from the Plaid Tidings DSP pack. And you can see you just push your paper in and give it a punch, and it works really nicely. So this is the 1/2 inch size. Oops, let me get that back better in the screen. And then I've got a 3/4 inch piece, and you can see it just fits right in the guide, which is so awesome. Give that a punch, flip it around, and punch it again. I love how easy it is to do this. And then this third one we're going to punch as well. This one, ooh, I think I cut this a little too wide. This is a 1 inch punch, so let me quick punch that or trim that down so it fits correctly. Or a 1 inch strip, I meant. So we'll punch the 2 ends of this as well. Now I'm going to take this piece and do a little stamping on it. So to do that, I'm going to use the little leaf image from this stamp set and the same color ink, which is rich raspberry, or I'm sorry, Blackberry Bliss. My apologies. My brain is moving faster than my hands today. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little scrap paper down to protect my work surface, and I'm going to stamp this in a little bit, as I said, of blackberry ink. So I've got these leaves right on top, like so, kind of going all over the whole panel like that. Then while I have that open, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Now I've die cut the second to largest circle in our stitched shapes set of dies, and I'm going to stamp this up top. I'm leaving room at the bottom so I can add my leaves. Okay, so my heart is grateful for you. Again, this is from that same Beautiful Autumn stamp set. And I love how the sentiment is written. It's just so nice. I love the mixed fonts, and I, of course, love the sentiment behind those words are just so nice. Now, I'm going to take a scrap of that Blackberry Bliss cardstock, punch one of my leaves from that, as well as I've got a little scrap of, this is brushed metallic paper. I think this is not sure what color this is. There's 3 different colors in here. There's copper, bronze, and gold, I think. And maybe this is bronze. I can't remember which is which. So I'll take this and glue dot it to the blackberry one. and just kind of offset them a little bit so that you can see both together. All right, and then I'll add this to my card with a dimensional to pop it up a little bit. Like that. Okay, that looks great. Now, let's put the card together. Now, I have to tell you, this is kind of funny. I've already made my sample, of course, and I was going to grab the paper for this, and I thought it was 3 3/4 by 5, but it was actually 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch that I used on this panel, and you can see that I've embossed it with my subtle embossing folder. But when I was grabbing those papers, I grabbed both, and I thought, ooh, I could put this embossed piece on top of this plain piece, and it just adds a nice little touch to that. I kind of like the look of it, so I thought I'd go with it, and you can tell me in the comments of the video which one you prefer. I know it's just a small little extra touch, but I really think it makes the card look fancy, and I think it's nice. So there we go. All right, my card base is going to be a 1/2 sheet of crumb cake cardstock that I will fold in half and get a good crease with my bone folder. And we'll adhere that to the back like so. Oh, I do like that extra little layer. It just makes it nice. All right, the last part of our card is simply adhering these 3 strips. So I'll take my Blackberry Bliss one and put that down first. I'm going to put that kind of straight on, and then we'll add the other 2 strips with just a little bit of an angle on each. And I just kind of like the fun look of that. I know some people can handle the angled cardstock better than others. I understand if you need an orderly card, that's just fine. Okay, last but not least, well, actually second to last but not least, I'm going to place some dimensionals on the back of this circle and pop it up on my card. And then the final step will be to add a little bow that I have tied with some linen thread. So I'll take this and just tie a little bow, and that's going to be adhered with a little glue dot. Oh, come on. Sometimes I wonder. It can be a little tricky to get a bow tied, but with a little perseverance, I know you can do it. All right, and then like I said, I'll take a glue dot, and I like to just roll these up into kind of a log, a glue dot log, if you will. And then I'll add that to my card. Glue dots really like sticking to my nails though, so I don't know what it is about I get dip nails and I don't know. But there we go. Isn't that just the cutest card? I just love this one. Now, I've got another, oh, and I will tell you, this stamp set, actually the bundle with the punches, for the beautiful autumn, I have a great online class for this that is available. I will put the registration for that in the links in the description of this video. It's a really great online class. I've gotten some tremendous feedback for it. So if you're interested in that, you can see the details, like I said, in the description of this video. Just click see more under the title. All right, next up I have these 2 cards. Now the reason there's 2 is because I started with this one and I really liked it. I had die cut this leaf out of here and then I wanted to do something else with it, so I added it to this. So let me show you how I came up with these 2 cards. So first we're going to start with a garden green card base. And I'm using some printed paper from the Forever Greenery DSP, and I love this paper. So many gorgeous patterns. This is a pattern that I've just, for whatever reason, really enjoyed. I really like the look of it for some reason. Again, I'm not sure why, but I just do. So I thought I would take the largest leaf in my Love of Leaves bundle. Now this is another great bundle, and I have an online class for this one as well. It actually comes out later today. So on these, I'm going to take, and what's really kind of cool about the way they made this bundle is the leaves are a stitched die, which is really kind of neat. And then you can use them with or without the vein stitching. So that's kind of fun. So to start with, I'm just going to take and put my leaf right about here on my DSP. I'm going to run that through my Stampin' Cut emboss machine, and I'll be right back. All right, so here's what we've got. I've got this awesome leaf, and then you can see the stitching is left behind on my negative piece of cardstock. So I thought this would be cool, and I put it on here, and I thought, well, that's nice, but it's a little bit boring, kind of a lot of green, if you know what I'm saying. So then I thought, ooh, what if we put another color behind here? I actually tried soft seafoam, which is kind of the other color in this DSP, and I just didn't like it. It was too blah. But then I tried Pool Party, and I really liked the look of that. So I wanted to add a little something to this because I thought it was boring, and I thought about stamping the image, but instead what I thought would be pretty cool is if we took that stitching and placed it in here. So I have the same size piece of Pool Party cardstock as my printed paper, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I have put this to line right up with both my cardstock piece, my printed paper piece, and then the center of the leaf. So I've got everything lined up right here. I'm going to leave that right there. Take my cardstock out. And then just to make sure it doesn't move positions, I'll just take a little Post-it and go over that. And then I'm going to run this through my Stampin' Cut emboss machine. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my piece that I just did the stitching for, and that looks great. And then we're going to add it to this, and that looks fantastic. So I'm going to adhere these 2 layers together, and when I do that, I want to make sure I get these points kind of tacked down a little bit. So I'm just going to put some of my seal right on those tips, and where there's excess, I'm not going to worry about it too much unless it's sticking out. And we'll double check that before we adhere anything. We just don't want it to be sticking out on the front, I guess is what I more mean. And it looks good. So I'll just put these 2 layers together, and look at how nicely that's lined up. And everything is wonderful. All right, I'm going to take this layer and adhere it to my card base, like so. And then I wanted to add a sentiment to this. So I used the thank you that's in my stamp set, and I have a scrap of some Misty Moonlight cardstock, so I'm just going to stamp that thank you on this scrap, and we'll trim it down a little bit, and then we'll add it to our card with a bow. Okay, so I'll just trim this down just a touch. Get that centered up in there, like so. All right, now I'm going to adhere this to my card popped up. So I'll just take kind of a border piece right here to add behind. And then I'm going to embellish this with some gold trim. Now that's part of our Forever Greenery ribbon combo pack. We've got this gorgeous gold trim, and I love it because it just adds a little touch of shimmer, a little extra elegance to your card, and it's just lovely. So we'll tie another bow and add this with another glue dot log. And I just think this is so pretty. Now I thought about embellishing it with some gilded gems, but I didn't want to take too much away, and because there's quite a bit going on with this DSP, I just left it as is. And isn't that a great looking card? All right, But when I was done with this card, I noticed that I had this leaf left and I couldn't not use it. So let me show you what I did with that. I really liked the look of that leaf, of course. So I grabbed some more cardstock pieces. Now this time I'm going to use another half sheet of Garden Green. We'll give this a good crease. And then I've got a piece of 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 of that same printed pattern. And then I've got a 3 by 4 in my Misty Moonlight. So once again, just like before, I'm going to take and run that leaf through. So I'll put this right on here. I'm going to run it through my machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces and I'm going to add this, and let me get rid of this. Background's getting a little busy here. I've got my 2 pieces. Now I don't need this leaf. I can set that aside, but I do want to put my leaf right here. Now I thought about just leaving it like this, and that's okay, but what I wanted to do was pop this one up so that you could see it a little better. So let's do that. So I'll adhere this panel to my printed paper, kind of like what we did before. And I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to those points just so that they stay tacked down. And we'll center that up right there. And that looks great. I'm going to adhere this to my card, like so. And then I'll take my leaf that was left over from my first card and adhere it with some dimensionals. Now it really helps if you do add a few extra dimensionals than you normally do. I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to dimensionals. I like the look, but I don't necessarily use tons of them. So I really want this to be kind of evenly popped up onto my card because I think that's what will make it look the best. And then we'll just position this right in like a puzzle piece. But it's popped up, and don't you think that looks better? Now to finish my card off, I just need to add a sentiment. So I tried to figure out what would be the best for that. And I decided that stamping my sentiment on a piece of vellum and then adding it to my card would look great. So I have a piece of vellum here, and my sentiment is from my stamp set, just like before. I'm going to drop my little embossing buddy on here. We don't carry those anymore, but if you've ever bought one, you know they last for 20 years. I know this because mine is 20 years old. And I'm just going to stamp that sentiment right on the edge of my piece of vellum. And then I will go ahead and heat set this with some white embossing powder and my heat tool. Grab this like so. And here we go. All right, so that looks fabulous. We'll give this a quick trim and adhere it to our card. And, well, I think it's centered pretty well. Now, adhering this, of course, is a little bit of a challenge because it's vellum and you can see through it. So what I'm just going to do is tack this down just a little bit with some seal under the words. And hopefully that works pretty well. And there we go. Now our final little touch is we're going to add another bow to this. I'll use my linen thread this time. And just tie another bow. And actually, I guess my tails were a little bit longer on this one. Tying bows is always good practice. All right, so we'll just trim that and one more glue dot log and we're good to go. And that is my card. Now, again, I've got a class for both of these stamp sets that I featured today, both the Love of Leaves cards as well as the Beautiful Autumn. And I will put links to both of those in the description of this video. You won't be disappointed in these classes because they are amazing. And I hope you love these projects. If you did, would you give me a thumbs up? And of course, if you don't want to miss any of my future videos, don't forget to subscribe right here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Creativity Cave. I love inspiring you each week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.